Hello guys, welcome to the unboxing of my 72 watt Algae Turf Scrubber. You can see what it will look like right there eventually. So I got this last year and it's a Sea Breeze ATS custom built for me by a seller on eBay called Harv. You can see the box comes fully protected with styrofoam pieces. It arrived fully packed, no damage, and I'm going to go through each item as I take it out of the box. So this is the power supply for the LED strip. Next are the LED strips, which I won't use, but I'll explain to you later on why I won't use them. But basically just I think 1 or 3 watt per strip, and that's just not powerful enough for me. Next you have some of the PVC piping that comes as standard. These are PVC pipes that you will need to cement glue. Now what else do we have in the box? I think that's all you need really. And now I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit and show you what the packaging looks like. It comes with all these styrofoam pieces for really good protection, because don't forget this is quite a fragile piece of acrylic kit, and the last thing you want is to pay for something about £200 and have it arrive damaged or broken by the couriers. So I was quite pleased when it arrived, really well packaged. I'm now going to try to lift it out of the box. Again, you'll see the unit itself is bubble wrapped. So you have quite a few layers of protection there. You've got the box, you've got the styrofoam pieces, and you've got the unit itself, which is wrapped in about 2 or 3 layers of bubble wrapping. And I saw no damage at all to the unit. It was delivered perfectly well. No breakage, no cracks, nothing at all. Really happy with it. And really happy with the way it was packaged. Right, let's get the box off the table and put it down for further unwrapping. Right, I'm now going to take off the bubble wrapping. While I'm doing this, I just want to explain quickly that this is going to be a 72 watt LED powered Algae Turf Scrubber, and for my system I'm going to call it ATS2. Now I have a 54 watt from the same builder, and I'm going to refer to that as my ATS1. ATS2, which you see now, is a lot taller than ATS1 because I'm going to use 4 of my LED bars, which you will see later, which means obviously it needs to be a lot higher and taller, and that was deliberate because I needed something really powerful for my mixed reef system. As you can see, the wrapping coming off, and I'm being very careful here because I don't want to drop it, and I also need to inspect it carefully to make sure that it has arrived in perfect shape. Right, let's get this bad boy looked at. What I'm going to do now is I am going to just break down the unit's components for you so you can see exactly what it comes with. As standard, it comes really as black gloss. That's what I wanted. The lid itself is black gloss. It has these grooves which fit snugly to the centerpiece where the pipe will be and where actually you grow your tough algae. The screen itself is standard 7 mesh screen. The piping comes already with a slot that's been cut for me. This is gonna give me a lot of screen real estate. The holders there are just larger PVC cuts that slit through the mesh. I've since changed this using something a lot more stronger. You can see that there's a lot of instructions there for me on how to use it, but because I'm quite familiar with rainfall Algae Turf Scrubbers, I didn't need to read it. What I asked for was 2 drains, one at the bottom, which is a 20, I think it's 32 millimeter, and one by the side, which is a 25. This gives me, basically that's my emergency drain. This is for times when I'm traveling and I don't clean the screen and it kind of builds up. I'm lifting up one of the sides now. This is where eventually I'm going to drill holes and place my LED lighting strips. You can see there that this is the other side of it. Take it out. Nice and easy slots, which is really good for when you want to service your LED strips in the future. As you can see, the main compartment is large enough for me to put my hand in. You're going to need something this wide so you can put your hand in, scrape off any algae, clean it out, service it. You don't want something too narrow where you really just can't put your hand in there. You have the other end where it's going to basically a brace, a bracket effectively, to hold my Algae Turf screen. You are going to need something like that if you're going to build one or have something built, because as the algae grows it will get heavy, and if you don't have a brace to hold it, it's going to bend, and that's going to cause all sorts of problems, including possibly bending and damaging your piping, and obviously leaks, and you certainly do not want that. So that's the unit. It's quite simple, quite basic. Emergency drain, which is really useful. The water's going to go in that end, flow all the way down, come out of the bottom as my main drain, and any emergency water comes out here. You do not want to have just one drain for something this powerful. Now I'm going to explain to you what the standard LED strips come as or with, and I'm also going to show you how they're going to fit in. So this is what they are. They're basically I think about 3 watts per strip, and that's just not powerful for me. My almost 18 years experience using different versions of Algae Turf Scrubbers has taught me that you need something powerful. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm using this on my ATS1, and effectively I'm going to replace what you see there with the 9-watt LED strips. So this is just a basic cable that comes connected with it. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. This is my preferred LED lighting for rainfall Algae Turf Scrubbers. I get it from America. I'm in the UK. Each one of these is 9 watts. It operates at the right nanometers for the red and the blue, and effectively I'm going to have 4, as you can see from this screenshot. This just tells you or shows you exactly how I'm going to lay those LED bars on each side of the Algae Turf Scrubber. Now this has been tried and tested by myself on ATS1 and they work. They're absolutely amazing. They're waterproof, they have their own heat sink, and I have not had a failure with these at all. So throw the old ones away, I'm not going to need them. These are my babies, these work. 4 on each side. Now I had this measured before I ordered this unit, so I know exactly where they're going to go, and in my update 2, which is going to come later on, the update video 2, I'm going to show you how I drilled the holes on that panel and how they all fit together, just like that. I've taken the mesh out so you can just have a view of it, of how it's going to look. Yep, I'm going to have 4 on each side, and that's going to give me a lot of power because I really rely on Algae Turf Scrubbing as my nutrient export and nutrient cycling system. So when you're thinking about getting an Algae Turf Scrubber, I prefer the rainfall. I've tried the troughs, they work. I've tried the upflows, they don't work for me. They're not powerful enough. And a lot of people get disappointed when they apply the wrong kind of Algae Turf Scrubber to their system. You need, as a primary filtration system, a waterfall Algae Turf Scrubber. The next best version is the trough, but don't forget on the trough you can only light one side of your screen, but they're far better than the third option, which is just upflow or whatever they call them. These grooves for the lids are important because you really want a snug fit. You want a snug fit so it covers it. Now this design, you notice, got some holes at the top of it, and that's just really for extra ventilation because I'm gonna have 72 watts of LED power there. I don't want that unit overheating. So the 2 slots you see on each side, which is cut on those side panels, is really just for extra ventilation. You don't want too much ventilation in rainfall Algae Turf Scrubbers because you want the carbon dioxide in the water to be filtered out by the algae itself. Now these pipes came pre-cut for me. I did order these and asked the supplier to cut them to size, and all I did really eventually was just PVC glue these together. It's quite straightforward, quite basic. There's not really much to Algae Turf Scrubbers. You just need to make sure that you design your system for your reef. You need to make sure it's a perfect match, otherwise you're going to have performance issues. Think of it as your lifeline. Without a properly designed Algae Turf Scrubber as your main filtration, export and cycling system, you will struggle to keep your nutrients in check. With my 2 Algae Turf Scrubbers, my nitrates and phosphates are barely detectable. As a matter of fact, I can feed my system so much food, and in turn they feed my corals and fish with a lot of copepods and amphipods. The next video I will show you exactly what the system looks like assembled. You will see how I have assembled the unit. You see that's it there. You'll see the LED bars fixed to each of the side panels, and you'll see some of it in operation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see how I filter my reef.